My dad, quite a well-known surgeon from the West Coast in Victoria, and my mom a nurse. Back in the 60s, they were called out to be missionaries in Nigeria, where I was born. And it was a very turbulent time in the history of Nigeria. It was during the Biafran War. And so I remember actually a surprising amount. I mean, I remember one time driving and seeing a field full of dead bodies and vultures. It was just an awful sight. And of course, my parents said, "Don't look," and we all looked. Everyone in the whole family looked. And I can remember, that's a vivid image for me. I also have amazing memories. I have amazing memories of my dad. He loved adventure. He loved to take us exploring in caves and to see things. My dad actually tragically died in a car accident when I was just 4 years old. It was a really tough time for us as a family, as you can imagine. Left my mom with 7 kids, 6 boys and a girl, and I was that kid that asked the tough questions, like, why did God take Daddy when I loved him so much? But my mom said something to me that really touched my little 4-year-old heart. She said, "Trevor, God will be your daddy. God will be your dad." And that was a really, that was a very profound, simple, but profound statement for me, a little 4-year-old. And I hung on to those words. I hung on to them for dear life. And that's what started me on my journey of faith. We left about a year later. We moved back to Vancouver Island. From as young as I can remember, I wanted to follow my dad's footsteps. My dad had an old microscope. I kept it under my bed and I told everybody I was going to be a doctor just like my dad, and I wanted to be a missionary. My mindset of a missionary, you had to be a doctor or a teacher, or a trade. I need to build a hospital, I need to help build schools, I need to help orphans and do some of this practical kind of work. And honestly, I didn't see the need for what's music going to do? How is that going to help people? I went through conflict for sure, and I thought I'd given up, let go of that dream of being a missionary when I became a violinist. And I couldn't see how they could coincide. And as I was in my teen years, I realized that I had a special gift playing the violin, and I was being encouraged by my teacher at the time to really pursue a career in music and performing. I felt a lot of peace but I'd give up the whole idea and the dream of being a doctor. And you know what I've realized is that I can be a missionary, really in anything that I do, I can be a missionary. And I've been finding that God's been opening all kinds of doors of mission work all over the world internationally as a violinist. The amazing thing about instrumental music in particular is that it crosses all language barriers. Anywhere in the world, whether it be South America, South Africa, in Europe, wherever, and we can just play and we can draw a crowd and I can share my story, and God can use that in a profound way. You know, we live in a time and a space that's very short in the light of eternity. And I want to make a difference for eternity. I want to do things that have eternal value. I just want to do what God calls me to do, and I want to just serve Him. As a musical missionary, I call myself.